Chapter 90, the header. Having no money or a value placed upon the necessities of life will create much peace and happiness in society. The businesses and corporations are tools used by the rich to grind the faces of the poor. The Lord shall destroy all business that do not do something to provide for the necessities of life or the happiness of humankind. 1. And now, the first thing that shall be done when the Lord cometh upon the earth is that he shall rebuke all those who have placed a value upon not only the things of the earth, its gold and its silver and its fine and precious things, but also the values that have been placed upon the souls of the children of men. 2. Behold, in that day there shall be no money, which is the number of the beast, and which createth and sustaineth the value that have been placed upon all things upon the earth, and also upon the souls of men, which lead to the wickedness of slavery. 3. And if there is no money, and no value is placed upon the things of the earth, or upon the souls of men, then there shall be no rich and poor, but all shall have all things in common. 4. And the brother of Jared wrote concerning this, saying, And the Lord took away the power and control of the rich by taking away the value that had been placed upon the money system that is established among the children of men. 5. For in that day all the world shall be under one monetary system, which shall be controlled by the rich. And when the Lord devalues the worth of all things, then there shall be no gold or silver or paper money of any kind in that day. 6. For the value of the riches that a man possesseth is counted unto him by machines that hold the accounting of his wealth within them, which is the number of his name, or his works, and the number of his name is distributed to all those who have access to these machines, so that all might know the number by which he is named. 7. And each man, woman, and child upon the earth is given an account that is held within this machine. And when a man is employed at a business, a value is placed upon that in which he hath been employed. And when he works for a time, then the number of his worth, or this value, is credited to his account that is held within these machines. 8. And when he maketh a purchase of whatever his heart desireth, then is the value that is placed upon this thing taken away from the account that giveth unto him his worth, and the number of his name. 9. And it is required of all upon the earth who are of age to work in some manner that they might have a number in their accounts that provideth for them all the things that they need to live. 10. And when a man or a woman desireth that which they cannot afford, because of the insufficiency of the number in their account, then they borrow against their account and are forced to pay usury for that amount that is above the number in their account. 11. And there are many who have little in their accounts, because of the value that have been placed upon the things that they need to eat and to wear, and upon a home in which to live. 12. And the value of these things are determined by the rich among them, that they might get continual gain from those who seeketh only that they can survive by the necessities of life. 13. And the poor rebel against the value that hath been placed upon the things that sustain their lives, so that the rich might get gain from them. But when they rebel against these things, then they are taken by the rich, and placed in prisons away from the rest of the people, as a punishment for disobeying the laws of the rich. 14. And while in these prisons, the poor become hardened in their hearts against the rich, and imagine up in their hearts all manner of evil that they could do to the rich, who have placed the value upon the necessities of life, and also upon their souls. 15. And I beheld that there were many prisons set up among them, and many in the process of being built to punish the poor who would rebel against the will of the rich. 16. And there existed no love among the people of the earth, for there was no trust one for another, because of the desires of all to obtain the fine things of the world by the number of their accounts that are maintained in the machines that I beheld. 17. And when the Lord came among them, he commanded his holy angels to destroy all the machines that held the accounts of all the inhabitants of the earth and the number of their names. 18. And when he had destroyed these machines, all the people of the earth became equal, having no value placed upon them by the number of their names. 19. And the rich lamented of that which the Lord had done, and cursed his name, and hid themselves from the face of the Lord in their mansions, and in their grand estates, and in their lavish homes and domiciles. 20. But the poor rejoiced exceedingly in that which the Lord had done, and the poor were those who were responsible for the maintenance and the upkeep of the lifestyles that the rich had created for themselves. 21. And the rich had maintained control over the poor because of the account and the number of their names, which gave unto each man, woman, and child the ability to purchase that which they needed to survive. 22. For the rich had placed a value upon the food and the raiment and the houses of the poor, and paid them in wages for their employ only that which the poor could afford to sustain their lives. 23. And the poor were forced to work for the rich to obtain a number that would be placed in their account, which number was controlled by the rich. 24. And the rich had placed a value upon the worth of a soul of a man and a woman who would perform work for them. 25. But the Lord commanded that there shall be no more an account given of the worth of a man and a woman or a child, but that all should be provided for equally in all that they needed to sustain their lives, all being equal in the eyes of the Lord. 26. And then did the rich lament exceedingly, because they could no longer make a profit from the desire of another to sustain his life. 27. And the Lord commanded that all of the prisoners inside of the prisons be released, and given their freedom in all things, and also be made equal unto all others upon the earth. 28. And the prisoners that were being held by the rich came forth, and knelt before the Lord, and praised his name, and made a covenant to obey him, and keep his commandments in all things. 29. And he commanded the people to continue in the business that they were accustomed to do, so that the same economy would survive by which the people were accustomed to living. But he commanded his angels to go throughout the earth and change the course of all employment that did not provide an opportunity for the happiness or for the necessities of life of the people of the earth. 30. And the majority of all the merchants and the business that were set up among them were those that had nothing to do with the production of food, raiment, or shelter, but were set up to manage and account for and maintain the accounts and the numbers held within their machines. 31. And the rich had set up an ingenious system of stocks and bonds, whereby they might gain more numbers in their accounts without working for them. And if a man invested his number into a company, he was promised by the company that he would be returned a greater number than that which he invested. 32. And the company would take the money that was invested into it, and seek for means and ways whereby it might make more profit, and increase its own number so that it might give back to the investor that which it had promised unto him. 33. Nevertheless, the companies were like unto the accounts and the numbers of the rich, in that they were not actual people, but entities of incorporation which had been developed by the laws of the rich to get gain. 34. And when a man would invest his number with a company, and the company could not increase the number of its name sufficiently to pay back a dividend to the investor, then there was no course of redress given that the man might receive back the money that he had given, because the company was not responsible as one man might be to another, because it was not a man but a number. 35. And when a company desired to make a profit, so that it might pay dividends to those who invest in it, Then it grindeth upon the face of the poor, and taketh more from the poor, and useth its power over them to make the profit that it desireth. 36. And the Lord shall never again allow a man to make a profit by the labor of another man, but all shall give equally of their time to have the things that they all can share to bring happiness to them equally. 37. And if a man hath increased in his abilities, and can provide them as a benefit to others, then he shall do so whether he hath much to give or little to give, according to the abilities that he hath received from the blessing of existence that the Father hath given to all of us. 38. And in the last days the rich shall enforce their laws and their ways upon the poor, by the means of force that Lucifer hath used to reign over them. 39. But in the day of the Lord, the armies and navies and all the means of force of all the governments throughout the world shall be disbanded, and become obsolete against the power of the Lord and his holy angels. For with the command of his word, the Lord can cause a mountain to rise up and cover an entire battalion of soldiers and all of their weapons of war. 40. And the Lord shall cause to be set up places of employ for all the people of the earth, and no value shall be placed upon that which one would do in his employ, but all shall be equal before the Lord. 41. And all food and raiment and houses shall become free to all. 42. And now I, Moroni, say unto those of you who shall receive these things before the prophecy concerning that day of the Lord, described by the brother of Jared, shall come to pass. 43. Behold, the first thing that ye must do amongst yourselves is to establish a principle and law that guaranteeth to all the necessities of life. 44. And now I ask this thing of you, is it fair that any among you be forbidden these things? Behold, the choice of their existence was not made by them, but was made by the parents who created them. 45. Therefore, none of them should be responsible to suffer for a want of any of these things, to sustain their lives in the existence in which they were created. Now, I have already explained this unto you in this record, even that none of us made a conscious choice to come into existence, but we were created by the will and pleasure of the Father. 46. And for this reason, the plan of the Father provideth for us all those things which we need to remain in the existence in which we were created. 47. And in the kingdom of the Father there is no monetary value placed upon the things which he hath given unto us, neither is that which any of us do, according to our individual desires of happiness, valued more than that which another doeth. 48. For behold, when our basic needs are guaranteed unto us, then we have a hope that our existence is fair and just, and we begin to believe by this hope that those who created us love us and care about us. 49. But when we are forced to provide these things for ourselves, then we think that it is not fair that we came into existence because of the desires of another, and then are forced against our free will to labor for that in which we had no choice, but for that which we need to labor in order to continue in the existence in which we were created. 50. Therefore, my brothers and sisters, call upon the rich and the governments that have power over you, and demand of them in righteousness that they provide for you the necessities that ye require to sustain your lives. 51. Yea, demand that there exist laws prohibiting the creation of a child, if it is not the intent of those who have created it to provide for its needs all the days of its life. 52. For this reason none can create life in the kingdom of the Father, except it be those who have already proven that they are worthy parents, and that they will provide for the happiness of their creation in all things. Yea, is not this fair and just? 53. And the plan of Lucifer would not have it this way, for he believeth that we should create others to serve us, And for this reason he putteth in the hearts of the children of men to exalt themselves one above another, so that one is forced to serve the other. 54. And when one is forced to serve another, this shall always create misery and despair unto those who are forced to serve by no choice of their own. 55. And ye of the latter days, are not ye servants of those who give you the money so that ye might live? Are not ye their indentured slaves that they might get gain from your employ? Are ye not required to work all the days of your lives under their subjection, because of the power that they have over you in the money that ye receive from them? 56. Now, if ye had a righteous government that provided you with food and clothing and shelter, then ye would not be the servant to any man, for he could not command you in anything, knowing that ye could leave his employ and still be able to survive and be happy. 57. Do ye not see the guise of the rich in enslaving you, that they might get gain from you and not work for themselves? Is not this the image of happiness that the beast hath deceived you into believing is the only way to peace and happiness? 58. And those of you who are rich, and employ the souls of the children of men that they might get gain for you, what say ye of yourselves? How can ye justify that which ye do to maintain the image of the beast? 59. Yea, I have read that which ye say in the words of the brother of Jared, and ye speak, saying, I am rich because I deserve the blessings of God, because I provide for those who are in my employ with the things that they need to live. 60. And if I did not provide them with employment, then they would not have the necessities of life and would die. Therefore, I deserve to be exalted above them because of that which I do for them. 61. Woe unto the rich who think in this manner, for ye shall be condemned greatly for that which ye do. Yea, how many of those whom ye employ would work for you if they were always guaranteed that which they needed to survive? Do ye think that they would remain in your employ when ye treat them with disrespect and put yourselves above them? 62. Do ye think that they are happy in your employ? I say unto you that they are not happy in your employ, but of a necessity they are forced to be your slaves. 63. Now, it is not a hard thing for a government of a nation to set up a system whereby all of the people can have those things which they need to sustain their lives. 64. And now, I have seen the latter days, and the nation of the United States, which is the most wicked nation upon the earth, in regards to those who seeketh to enslave the souls of the children of men, so that they might get gain and not be required to work by the sweat of their own brow. 65. Yea, ye complain in this nation of the poor and the needy, whom ye believe are lazy and undeserving of the fine things of the world, and ye have many of them in your prisons, because of the imagined threat that ye suppose that they have caused you, because of that which they do to their own bodies. 66. Behold, I have seen the great abuse that many of the poor do to their bodies with drugs, which ye have made illegal by the laws that ye have established among you. 67. Now, why is it that ye imprison these who take these illegal drugs, when the reason why they take them is because they are in search of a temporary happiness and an escape from the drudgery of the employ that is forced upon them by your desires to get gain? 68. Behold, ye have many drugs which ye take that are prescribed to you by your doctors, which are more harmful than these drugs which are distributed and consumed by the majority of those whom ye imprison. 69. And many of those whom ye have imprisoned have been convicted of crimes that ye have caused them to commit because of the unrighteous laws that ye have established for yourselves. Do ye think that by placing them in these prisons that ye shall solve the unhappiness and problems of your society? I say unto you that it shall not solve any of your problems, but shall make them worse for you. 70. And what shall ye say when the Lord cometh in the glory of the Father, and commandeth that all the prisons be destroyed, and all the prisoners therein be released. What then shall ye think of your laws? 71. Behold, if ye want to help your brothers and sister who are imprisoned because of you, then ye should seek out the reasons for which they have broken the laws that ye have established against them. 72. Behold, why do ye not think that it would be more beneficial to you if ye would find the source of their desires to commit these crimes, or the reason why they have broken your laws, instead of treating the symptom that ye know a prison will not cure? 73. And now I shall give unto you the will of the Lord concerning these things, that if ye desire that ye might make the necessary changes in your laws and your government that shall solve these problems which ye have before you. 74. In the day of the Lord, he shall place a great emphasis on the food that is produced for consumption in those days, and he shall make it a priority that the farms and gardens of the earth begin to produce all manner of fruits and foods which are pleasing to the eye and refreshing to the taste. 75. And he shall command that this food be that which all should have according to their needs and their wants. 76. And these fruits and foods shall be natural foods which are created according to the laws of nature, as they were in the beginning when the sons and daughters of Adam lived for many years in health and happiness. 77. And no man or woman or child shall go without food to eat. Nevertheless, the food that they shall eat shall be only that food that shall be beneficial to their bodies, even that food that shall cure all manner of ills within them. 78. And now, because there shall be no value placed upon the food that shall be available for all to eat, there shall be no reason why one would steal for this food. 79. And if a man stealeth any of this food, then what shall he say to another? Buy this food from me for a price? And another will say unto him, What price thinkest thou that I would give unto thee for something that I can obtain without price? 80. And furthermore, there shall be no money to exchange for the food. Therefore, there is no incentive given to steal this food. 81. And when a man knoweth that he hath sufficient food that he might live, then this man beginneth to believe that he is happy, and that those who have provided this food for him value him as a man who is equal to them. 82. And when a man feeleth that he is valued, and is equal to all others, then he is happy, and hath no desire to hurt others, or steal from them, or cause pain upon them for any reason. 83. And when ye all feel of equal importance one to another, then shall hope rise among you, and ye shall be happy and at peace. End of chapter 90.